So he says men have got this like almost like a grenade, like a self-destruction button.
Yep.
You choose very carefully who you give the self-destruction button to. You give it to a woman who God has not called you to be with. They will play with it. And they will trigger you. And they will threaten you with it.
When a guy says to me, I don't want to get married because it's restrictive.
Yeah.
I'm like, show me anything else in your life that has absolute freedom the way you thinking of it. You know?
She's shown me enough evidence that I don't have to worry about her dropping the ball on our family. When generally those frictions come is because you've given your partner evidence that when you do this, this is going to suffer.
Sure.
So you need to be careful of the evidence you're putting out.
Husbands need to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
More than wives.
Yeah. And what I wish for guys who marry is to find a woman who sees a giant in you.
Sure.
And does not stop reminding you. How I show up into the world is not because my dad told me I was a giant, but it's because I've got a wife who reminds me.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Blaque Newborn. Here we are husbands who aren't where we want to be, but certainly are not where we used to be. We are imperfect, always failing forward, trying to know better so that we can do better.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to That Husband podcast with me, Blaque Newborn. This is where husbands try to know better so that we can do better. Before we jump into this episode, we want to thank everybody who's been supporting us. And if you're new, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30. If you're wondering how you can support us, well, you can do that in two ways. The first one, you can buy us a coffee. If you're wondering what that's about, there's a link in our comment section. You can click on that and buy us as many coffees as your heart desires. We love coffee here. Our guests love coffee. And so it energizes us to keep on making more of this content. The second way you can support us is by booking me as a speaker, as an MC for your next event. And you can do that at booking@blacknewborn.com. That's booking@blacknewborn.com. The husband that's sitting across the table from me today is Tshepo Hlongwane.
Yes, sir.
How are you, dog?
I'm good.
Good, man.
I'm good.
Fist bump here.
Ah, nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
It's a blood bet. After this, we together. And thanks for pulling through, bro.
Ah, what a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
Yeah, that's great, man. We met last year.
Last year?
Yeah. When was it? Was it October?
October, November, I think.
Around there.
Yeah.
Yeah. At a conversation with brothers.
Yes.
It was a hangout. We were part of a panel together.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was dope.
That was amazing. I'm passionate about that topic. So when Ufense, who I used to work with, so that's the relationship. When she invited me, I've got brothers, so
cool.
I'm the eldest of 5.
Sure.
And we have one sister in the 5-man band, Children of Mom. So I've got 4 brothers. Sorry, 3 brothers.
Okay.
And so brotherhood is an important thing for me. So that conversation with brothers was like a little bit of a meditation on how I think about my brothers as well.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I think gravitated towards you just, your conviction just oozed. You came in the room. You know, there's Christians who tend to be salt. Yeah. There's Christians who tend to lean more to being light. You can't avoid light. Yeah. You know, we're called to be both.
Sure.
But I remember telling a friend of mine, I think I'm in my salt season.
Nice.
Where, you know, for the longest time in my faith, I was in my light. Like I'd just beam in the room. You know? As soon as I walk in, I'm like, you better know. I'm gonna tell you about Jesus. Yeah. Now I'm like, how do I add flavor here? How do I preserve the good things about, you know, the space that I'm in? Sure. And not that I dim my light at all. I don't. Yeah. You know, but I just say that to say, in that room, you came in with, man, this is who I am. This is what I believe. Yes. This is what makes me tick and makes me move, you know? And I was like, man, that's dope. Yeah,
I don't know why I was convicted to introduce myself like that, but I thought I normally, the places where I get opportunity to speak is generally professional spaces. So I lead with
Sure.
my profession. This is what I do, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah.
Yeah.
And that was a human moment where I'm like, yeah, I'm a brother. And these are the following things that I care about.
Sure.
And this is the framework
Yeah.
from which my caring comes from. So I thought that was useful. And I was excited to introduce myself like that, which is refreshing even for me.
Yeah.
So it's good to hear how you experienced me in that
Sure.
in that moment. But you still beam. Like I remember meeting you for the first time. Even before we spoke, I saw you, and I was like, "Wow, interesting guy."
Sure.
And today when I saw you, I was like, "Man, this guy dresses well." I'm like, I gotta tell this guy to like maybe he can be my just
I think
guide me a little bit.
Nick has you.
Nick is good, nah?
You have Nick that's close to you, man. So
no, the drip is good.
Yeah, no, thanks, bro. But man, you kill it as well. I remember you walked in that room. I'm like, man, those Jordans are Jordaning right now.
Yeah. So yeah, no, thanks, bro. Thanks for following up and almost like leading us to this conversation today. I think the conversation we can have and the stuff that you're passionate about is very useful and missing in our society today.
Sure.
That's why I was asking you a little bit earlier, like what's the conviction,
Yeah.
Many of us see problems. Not many of us decide to pour ourselves into solving a problem.
Sure.
Because it might be a problem you see in society, but not necessarily your problem.
Yeah.
But you've kind of made this your problem.
My issue.
Yeah. And the question I was asking is like, why is this your problem?
Sure. That's a refreshing way to put it.
Yeah.
Like owning the issue.
Yeah.
And not just seeing it as something that's happening around you.
For sure.
Sure. That's cool, man. We're gonna jump more into that, and we have to unpack it. But we normally start off with talking about the book that's behind me. What we're asking our guests is to define what a husband is.
Right. That's a.
So you have 13 years worth of experience.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, sure.
13 years.
So what is a husband?
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
Sure.
I'll try in two ways. In the aspirational way, meaning aspirational as in I think being a husband is a calling.
Sure.
And I think you positioned it correctly, like responding to the calling. So you're called to headship. You're called to stewardship. The easy stuff that people know is to provide and protect.
Yeah.
You're also called to disciple.
Sure.
You're also called to give a vision for a future, for where the family's going.
Sure.
So that's a few things.
Yeah.
Which are a lot. And if you're a husband who hasn't benefited from stewardship yourself, discipleship yourself, training, and all of those things, I think you should, before you respond to the call, think about like, am I ready for this stuff?
Sure.
And even if I'm not, what am I going to do actively to prepare myself to respond to these things and not feel overwhelmed when those callings draw on you? They will be overwhelming, and also to know what are you going to do when that draws on you. And I think not having that one plan, what am I going to do when I'm asked to give a vision?
Sure.
And I'm just not ready to give the vision. What am I going to do in that moment? Sure. Am I going to curl up and lick my wounds? Or I'm going to revolt and say, why are you asking me? That's not my place.
Sure.
What's your plan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you're asked to protect, you're going to be like, I put the security beams on. I don't know why these people broke in.
Sure.
You know? Or are you going to say, okay, cool, that wasn't enough. I need to come up with another plan.
Yeah.
So I think a husband is all of those things, but also a husband is someone who has been called by God to shine a light into a family that God wants to use as an instrument in his kingdom. That's for me what a husband is.
Bro.
Yeah,
still, bro. A couple of things came out from your answer now.
Yeah.
And I mean, earlier before we started rolling, we did speak about, a bit about our backgrounds, relationships with our fathers.
Yeah.
Did you, at some point, I know you spoke about like, a very common theme in your life being mentorship.
Mm.
Did you get anybody who prepped you
Yeah.
on all those things? So I think there is premarital prep.
Yeah.
Just from doing this podcast and conversations and my own research.
Yeah.
Most husbands need to be prepped before marriage prep.
Yeah.
Our wives think
absolutely.
about marriage like at age 4.
Sure.
And you just pushing bricks, thinking
Sure.
about that thing being a Ferrari.
Sure.
Yeah, one day I'll have a family. One day I'll have a child, whatever, right?
Sure.
And then you grow up
Mm.
and, the call comes to you and you're awakened. Love is
Yeah.
awakened. And,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
suddenly you're like, oh, sure, I'm thinking about family.
Sure.
And the first time you think about these things in a critical way is
Mm.
when you're in marriage prep.
Yeah.
But your wife has been prepping since she was 4. So
Yeah.
when they ask her, how many kids do you want to have? Yeah, I want to have 3.
Answers quick.
And I have all their names. And you're like, son.
There are guys who name their children in that ward at that time. They haven't thought about a
They
name
haven't-
until that moment.
I know.
So
I know.
you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Side note, part of the pressure is, and stuff that people should tell us, but in some sense, I get why they don't.
Yeah.
When I had my kid, I thought that there's some government official that's waiting at the hospital
Yeah.
to take the name. So I was panicking. It's like, man, I have one shot.
Correct.
Yeah.
They're going to write this name down and then
it goes,
that's it.
Yeah. And little did I know, they're like, hey, you can come back after 3 months. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
For sure.
You can give her a name whenever you.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, I was just like, man, it's just such simple information that kind of calms a man's anxiety that should be available for us to know. Anyway, but did you have any guys who kind of helped you on those aspects that you shared now on what a husband is? Did you go into marriage knowing that these are certain things and responsibilities that are required of me? Or did you also get a slap? Right?
I got a bunch of slaps.
This chick is hot.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this thing.
Yeah.
Honeymoon is amazing.
Yeah.
And first week back home, you're like, what did
real.
I sign
It's
up to
real.
here?
It's
Yeah.
A few things about my story. I grew up cleaning the pews at church.
Sure.
My grandmother took me to church.
Sure.
And it was a small church, maybe like 4 or 5 families.
Sure.
So we had to get involved.
Yeah.
I was like in the front leading choruses and stuff.
Sure.
So from a young age, the church was part of my life. And I saw my and my grandfather and how they related to each other. I didn't know then it was any kind of formula, framework to think about how men and women relate. But they stayed together until they passed. Either one.
How long were they together for?
Well, no, I didn't. I mean, they passed when I was maybe 12, 13. Yeah, so they were together for a long time.
Sure.
So that's the mother and father example I had from an early age.
Sure.
My mom was there, my dad was there, but they were not together. So I can't say what I just described comes from my nuclear family. It comes from my grandparents. Okay.
Sure.
But along the way, I've been gifted with men and women who just cared about me. And so that convicted me that I must amount to something because I was worth something to that person to expend the time to them. So that's where mentorship started for me. And then at that early age, I knew that I wanted to be, I don't know, maybe not a good guy, but I really wanted to be productive.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be destructive.
Sure.
I wanted to amount to something.
Yeah.
And then when it came to being a husband, when I started thinking about it when I was an adult, I was like, I can see a bunch of guys fumbling along the way. I'll do what I can in getting help, support, to try and do this the best way I can with the resources I have available to me. What I didn't know then is that there's a guy who scripted the call. And if you rely on him, he's very resourceful. He'll send a whole bunch of dudes. He will not spare men to help you along the way.
Come on, man.
So for me, when that clicked, then I felt less overwhelmed about, the fact that he's ahead of me in preparation on all of this. But then we did marriage counseling. when we decided that this was becoming serious.
Yeah.
And leading up to that, I spent many weekends, like on Saturdays, I used to meet with a guy who was our pastor. I used to meet with him even after we got married and he married
That's
us.
good, man. Yeah.
I used to meet with him just about like, how do you do this thing? How do I show up? So it would just be catch-ups.
Yeah.
And along the way, we would chat about preparation. When are you going to have kids?
Sure.
How's your career going?
Yeah.
He helped me a great deal about just calming the nerves because it can be a bit overwhelming to be expected to lead when you weren't really trained to lead.
Man, Sure. Nick was saying the first time I met you guys that you've been with your wife since varsity.
Yeah. I met her in varsity. I saw her first 2 days of varsity. She was walking past. I was like, she is fire. And I tell her the story. She's fire. But I didn't date her for the first year of varsity. A friend introduced us in second year.
Sure.
And then, we just were homies. So I know her now for more. So I met her when I was 19.
Okay.
I'm 40 now. So I know her for more than half my life. And we've been homies since then. Ups and downs, but overall, I think God had at that point in time chosen us for each other.
Yeah.
And that's been helpful.
Does it feel like you've known her that long?
No, I mean, like, it's fresh.
Okay.
It's fresh.
Sure.
But there's definitely like the benefit of having spent so much time together.
Yeah.
Some things go without saying.
Yeah.
She knows me, I know her. She knows a lot about my background. So when I lean into the lower version of myself, she's first to be like, hey, dude, yo, that's not you. Come on.
Yeah.
It's not always pleasant, but I appreciate that.
That's good.
So sometimes you've got friends who are like that. Like, yo, man, I've been your friend for a long time. You way past that, and they call you.
Yeah.
And she's like that friend to me.
Sure.
And I think if you have that in your partner, it's like a blessing.
That's great, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, we share that in common as well. So met my wife first year.
Oh, cool.
Varsity, and she was sitting behind me, had these amazing sunglasses.
Yeah.
And it's awkward, man. First day, and we go to a very small university.
Yeah.
We all like artists but nerds at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, this is gonna be whack. I need to be the class clown here. Try and break the ice.
Show up a little bit.
Yeah. So I
Peacock.
See yeah.
Class clown.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I think I asked her for glasses or something, and then she was like, nah, these her dad gave them to her.
Okay.
And her dad had passed away. So that was a bit awkward because now I'm like, where do I go from here?
Ish.
It's
A little bit of a dead end, right?
Yeah.
It's like, my dad gave them to me.
Yeah.
He passed away.
Yeah.
End of story.
So I'm like,
Face forward.
I can't rob you your glasses from a dead man. Like, it's like, I can't do that, man. But we connected there.
Okay.
And we were friends for 5 years. Never, the thought of dating just made both of us vomit,
Wow.
Yeah. So people were like, man, you guys should date or whatever. Like, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'll never do that thing.
Yeah.
And our friendship grew. We became solid friends. And I think probably by year 4 or into our 5th year, we made a pact,
Okay.
that, like, this friendship is really strong. you
Yeah.
know. So whoever we get married to respectively, they should know that we come as a package.
Sure.
So your husband must know that I'm gonna be your maid of honor. My wife must know you're gonna be my best man, or best woman in this case.
Yeah.
And we come as a package. So if she takes you, she must know. I mean, she must know that you come with me, and vice versa. And little did we know we're making a pact for ourselves.
For each other. Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it was corrupt thinking that we wanted to get into people's marriages.
How was that going to work?
Because we homies.
But that thing about friendship, man, I think for me, if you were to ask me what's the most impactful thing about how we've constructed our marriage, me and Dumi, is that we're friends first. Or second, but we're friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so sometimes when she talks to me, I remember it's a friend chatting to another friend. And also sometimes when the world is wild,
Yeah.
you just want to chat to a friend.
Yeah.
Sometimes you want to forward something funny
Yeah.
to a friend.
Yeah.
If you see that person just as your wife,
Yeah.
it just blocks so much
Sure.
vulnerability, communication,
Sure.
etc. So
Sure.
the package of a friend opens up a layer of self
Sure.
that is so useful
Yeah.
for the length and breadth of what an experience together can be. You limit so much if you're not friends with your partner.
Yeah. No, definitely.
You don't laugh at
Yeah.
your wife's jokes, but you laugh at your friends' jokes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't waste time with your wife,
your
but
wife.
you waste a bunch of time. You know?
Sure.
Because the stuff about marriage and like serious life, you're like, yo, you guys are serious people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But most of the time we're friends and not like
Sure.
mom and dad and adulting and showing up for whatever the professions require of us. So friendship is so critical.
What happens in the moments when either one of you forgets that you're friends? And maybe from your perspective, what happens when you forget that she's a friend?
Yeah.
How do you recover from that?
So when I forget even that I have a wife, which happens, the devil is a liar, bro. There's a lot that can happen in your day that just shifts you from remembering the calling, as an example.
Yes.
So when that happens, I come home and I show up not as a husband or as a friend, and I rub her off in a particular way. And then I get conviction. Like, that was not cool how you showed up.
Sure.
You brought your own baggage from your day. You brought it into this moment.
Yeah.
This is a place of safety, a place of vulnerability, a place of friendship. You didn't bring that. When that happens, which happens sometimes, God convicts me. I get on my knees and I pray before I even apologize.
Come on, man. Sure.
Which helps me that I prepare my apology in a way that it comes authentically, repentantly, rather than like just fixing something so we can have progress here. It's not like an expedient thing. It doesn't always happen like that. When fights between us drag is because I went to try and correct without consulting.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Whew. I should write that down.
Yeah. So that's what I've seen. I mean, what I'm doing in my marriage and in my life is I'm a student. I'm constantly learning.
Sure.
I did that. It didn't work. Let me correct. I did that. It didn't work. Let me correct. So when I do things like start forming patterns that are just not constructive for this, I can just see the wheels are coming off. And I pause and ask myself, like, so yeah.
Sure, man.
That's what I often do. Yeah.
So you've known your wife for what, like 20 years?
20 years.
Yeah.
Going on 21 this year.
Yeah. That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
What has been one of those fights where you're like, man, we're not coming back from this? And I asked that because 40 is also, just such a defining time in anyone's life. But I would think particularly for a man, you know, and by God's grace, you don't look 40.
Oh, thank you, bro. I don't feel 40. I don't know what it's supposed to feel like.
And I think you know that might seem very superficial, but where I was going with that is just even your energy, how you carry yourself, you know, and I think the benefit of getting to such an age where you don't come across as though, man, like life is really, you know,
wearing on you.
Dealt me a couple of blows and I'm tired. Says that, man, there's a level of wisdom I have. And clearly that level of wisdom has come through experience in living, and I've used some of it to get to where I am now. You know, and so then I was wondering, man, how has that worked out, particularly in marriage? Because as a man in your own walk, sure, you know, you can have internal struggles, you can fight with a brother, can recover from that, but this relationship is totally different. So how has your wisdom, this 40-year-old energy that's still fresh and vibrant, helped you in the moments where you're like, Tumi's leaving,
What? I mean, so a few things that I know, right? So we broke up a few times in varsity, like early days.
And
that sucked. So I know what that feels like to not have her around. I know what it feels like to see her on campus walking around, but she does not respond to me in any kind of way.
Yeah.
And I see that girl. And I see her with the same eyes of adoration and want of that first day, but she's walking there like wants nothing with me.
Yeah.
I remember that feeling so strongly that I try to avoid that.
Sure.
Right? So
Sure.
like that kind of learning,
Yeah.
like I know what that feeling feels like.
Yeah.
So that's one. And the other thing I wanted to say to you about fights is when I got into marriage, I told her, and that was probably one of our contracts, is divorce is not an option.
Sure.
Some people say that in the midst of like, we're preparing and obviously the energy is right. Like, why would you talk about divorce then?
Sure.
But the point I'm making there is that if you have room in your life for divorce, it shows up in the way you fight.
Yeah.
It becomes part of one of the outs, right?
Yeah.
So when you're at a crossroad and you're fighting with your partner, there must be one avenue that is blocked, which is no coming back.
Yeah.
So for me, when we fight and when stuff happens, mostly my fault.
Yeah.
Like I figure out like, okay, there's some real damage that's happened here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of repair work that's required. And most of the time we think we apologized, let's move on. But like you need to apologize and do some repair work.
Yeah.
And some of us don't like that because that's not fun.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You don't want to go back home every day to a wife that's still not happy with you, but you feel like you've apologized and you're ready to move on.
Yeah.
Like you just really want to start having fun again. No. Double down. Right? To show the sincerity of your repentance, the sincerity of your apology.
Yeah.
And often that's what really brings people into opening this blocked pathway is because they're not willing to do the work. That's required to repair. And to account for where you've really stumbled.
Yeah.
And then the stuff that causes us to divorce is usually the stuff that is regrettable, but is not avoiding the devil coming into your own house and destroying what you have.
Yeah.
That's where the protection. So protection from like thugs and stuff is like, you can hire for that.
Sure.
Protection from the devil is what I think we need to talk about. Like, how do you protect your family from the assaults of the devil to try and destroy this? Because his main mission is for families to not exist.
Yeah.
The broken society that we see is as a product of an assault in the family. So when I see that, like your Dumi might not come back, the price is the devil wins.
Sure.
So I must find whatever is possible. So then I go down on my knees and I pray. I'm like, Lord, you put this together.
Sure.
Now you bring it back together.
Come on now.
You said no man can put it asunder.
Yeah.
Now let's go.
Sure.
So let's just put some stuff into context because I keep talking about God and prayer and stuff, right?
Sure.
So my framework for my life is that people read books, people meditate and all of those things. My simple framework is I trust in God. He's called me into this life for a particular purpose. And I hold him to account for the stuff that he's responsible for in my life.
Sure.
And I'll do my best
You show up, man.
and he will do his best in my life. So in that framework, whenever I'm like out of my own wits, that's where I go. I've just tried to simplify.
Sure.
Like I don't go on TikTok to look for a motivation for the moment I'm in.
Yeah, sure.
I just go to him.
Sure.
I know how confusing the world can be because you might go to TikTok and not find the answer, and go to Instagram and not find the answer, phone an uncle and not find an answer, go to your preacher and not find an answer.
Yeah, sure.
Then what? You know?
Sure.
So for me, that's where like when the chips are down, where I go. I just try to simplify my life like that.
Yeah, that's good, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful, man. Yeah, and that's really encouraging to hear. And I was thinking now, getting married with the door open. Yeah, that leads to walking out when it's just readily available for you to walk out. In fact, I was listening to another podcast, and this dude was advocating for long-term relationships as opposed to marriages. He's like, man,
carve-outs, like just slightly this thing is difficult, let's find a version of it that's like palatable.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but let's not compare it to marriage because they're like
no,
like chalk and cheese.
So
I like Like, I've got no time for
Yeah.
conversations like that. Like,
Yeah.
please don't put these things in parallel.
And he did, you know, and he was advocating for long term
Yeah.
compared to marriage.
Yeah.
And his argument was, well, you know, the people who wear the jersey of marriage have really played a bad game.
Yes.
You know, and therefore, whether it's from a faith perspective, cultural perspective, he just does not see anybody giving him concrete evidence and reasons why he should do it. So it's like, man, we live in a very progressive society. We can define what long-term relationship is for ourselves, you know. And so as I was listening to him, I was like, man, I think the thing he's missing is what grounds either of these relationships. You know, so long-term relationship, the core of it is you guys. Yeah. You guys determine what the standard is. You guys set the rules. Yeah. And when either of the rules are broken, you know, by whatever party in the thing, you can either revamp those rules or decide, man, like this is not working for us, and we leave. And then I just think at a human level, that's not beneficial for you as an individual. Yes. You know, to hop around different relationships. Sure. I think intimate sexual relationships, you know, require you to kind of build with somebody long term, you know. So then I was like, man, take marriage, right? There is a sense in which we have agency, and I come in willingly into my marriage. But man, there's at least 3 tiers, 3 levels that make marriage such a restrictive thing. Yeah. Right? 1, it's God's idea. Yeah. He sets the rules. He tells you what marriage is about, right? Who's supposed to be married, right? He sets the rules. Yep. And then he makes it very restrictive in that sense. Culturally, it's restrictive. We Africans, you know, if you don't have, that's a restriction. Correct. Until you raise the money, you can't, right? Yeah. And so that also puts you at a level where you're held accountable, not just by yourself or and your spouse, but the people that you went to and you said, I'm going to take your daughter. Sure. You know, part of the reason why we also have witnesses, and not just the ones who sign the documents, but the people who come to your wedding, you know. So I'm like, people think they come to the wedding just to take pictures and eat the food. No, you actually essentially there as a witness. As a witness. Yeah, you know, so that when you see me at Mall of Africa walking with Betty, I invited you to my wedding. I gave you license to ask me, why are you walking with Betty? Where's Lily? You know? And so again, restrictive. Yeah. So family will restrict me, society will restrict me. The law restricts me, right? Yeah. There's different kind of marriage contracts that are there. Yeah. And obviously the common one is getting married in community of property. Yes. And that also it closes the door. Yeah. If I'm going to, you know, leave the door open and I want to, you know, get divorced, man, I have to go through all these things and then go explain to my family and then go explain to God, you know? Yeah. So I'm like, outside of my own agency, my own willingness, man, marriage is such a better institute than long-term relationships because of its foundation and its restrictive nature. You know, so some people are like, well, I don't want to be restricted. Then I'm like, man, you don't know how arrogant your heart can be. Yeah. My heart wants what it wants. Yeah. I need restrictions unless I think I can be God. Yes. Or I'm foolish enough to think that my arrogance is never going to be the downfall of who I am. Yeah. Then sure, let's go for long-term relationships. But man, I know my heart is sinful. I know that if I don't have all of these restrictions, and they don't stifle my joy in marriage, but instead they provide parameters so that my joy can flourish, you know, because it's a kid going to a park. Yeah. Without the fence around the park, as a parent, you're not going to rest. No. Cars might come in, thugs might come in. Yeah. But the fence allows you to have freedom. It allows the kid to explore the beauty of the park, you know, and that's what marriage is. All these restrictions are there to help us enjoy to its fullest all the benefits and the joy that actually comes with marriage, you know. So as I hear you speak, man, I'm like, part of the fights, that's all these restrictions help with guiding the fights, you know, because I know that, like, man, I'm not fighting my wife here. Yeah. There's something bigger that we're fighting for, right?
And sometimes you have to remind your wife what's happening.
Yeah.
Like, wait a second. Yeah. Just suspend me and you in the moment. This is what's at play. Yeah. And you need wisdom for you to see at a spiritual level what is being assaulted at you as a family. When you're fighting about your kids, where they go to school, etc., when you're fighting about who picks up, etc., you have to be able to have a spiritual lens at
Yeah.
what is happening over
Yeah.
here. It's like, give you an example. If you have a fight about, oh, we're going to church, like you never help me get the kids ready. Like I must wear this burden by myself. Now you want to resent going to church
Yeah.
because we are beefing about like who's helping who to do what.
Who got the pants?
It's a
ready?
microaggression,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
It's like a minor thing,
Sure.
but it can blow up into something
Can
bigger.
be. Yeah.
And, you need to be able to have that lens. And
Sure.
you spoke about wisdom. Wisdom is the ability to discern and not just ignore the hearkenings of the Holy Spirit when he speaks to you.
Sure.
Is like, most of the time, like sometimes it happens to me when I'm reading something or something, like I'll hear my name. And then I need to just like jolt out of that moment and be like, who's calling
What
me?
was that?
What's
Yeah.
happening?
Sure.
Like there's that story of Samuel, and God is like calling him, and he thinks, his godfather is calling him, until he realizes that it was God calling him. And that happens to us a lot.
Yeah.
But you need to train yourself to hear when God is calling you.
That's good, bro.
But I wanted to just mention something you referred to about the framework for marriage, and there is a lot of context given to marriage around the restrictions, and that's how people experience that. They experience husbands as people who are carrying so much weight, but not free.
Sure.
Not free to express themselves, etc. I want to talk about a little bit, and maybe you can share some of your stories about the freedom you've had since making the decision to be with Lily,
Hundreds.
which you did not have before.
Yeah.
So for me, so basically having to be home with my family at a particular time, at a respectable time, an honorable time, gives me the freedom to be safe, the freedom to not waste money.
Yep.
All of those things for me that sound like restrictions are freedoms.
They're freedoms, man. Yeah.
I'm now free to express myself creatively through my creative ventures because I've got the safety and protection of what my marriage offers, which is we come and we work towards a goal that provides a safety net for creativity. So whatever professional ventures I go at, I've got someone who's almost like my business partner who is my underpin in these things. In a marriage, you can do that. In like a relationship, or if you're jumping from one place to the other, you don't have that.
No.
Sexually, you don't have the freedom to fully express yourself with someone.
And explore. Yeah.
If you are hopping on around. Why? Because in fact, I like what happened with COVID, what happened, maybe not I like. Okay, let me just give context. I think nature has got these corrective mechanisms when society starts spiraling out of control. It is almost like an example of Noah and the ark, where society was going really out of control and God was like, that's about enough.
That's enough.
Too much corruption here. Marriage gives you that safety and protection and now freedom to enjoy at the table of sex in the fullest way. But we feel like being with one person, monogamy, is restrictive. Polygamy is completely restrictive. You don't decide how freely you can be with different people. And I know I'll be challenged for this, but for me, I'm my freest in this monogamous relationship with my partner because, and as you said, my heart is corrupt. If I was not married, I probably would be dead. Dead.
Yeah, that's clear.
Because
clean.
Because I have got one of my uncles gave this analogy, which I think is appropriate to share with you now. So he says men have got this like almost like a grenade, like a self-destruction button. You keep it with you. If you're single, you and you jump around and date many girls. You hand it over to them in that night and they can pop it. And that would be the end of you. You don't know who you're sleeping with that day. You don't know what they have, what spirit they have. That could be the end of you. Right? You give it to your wife. You choose very carefully who you give the self-destruction button to. You give it to a woman who God has not called you to be with. They will play with it. And they will trigger you. And they will threaten you with it. Like, get me this, otherwise I pull this thing. They know so much about you. Right? Or you have somebody who will honor that. And what I said to you about my wife reminding me about what they know about me, and when I gravitate to the low version of myself, All she has to do, she doesn't even have to show me that grenade. She just needs to tell me,
Yeah.
you gave it to me
Yeah.
for this reason.
Sure.
Why I'm calling you out on this is because you knew
Yeah.
I could be trusted with this information. I'm not doing this to diminish you,
No.
but just to remind you on the higher calling,
Come on. Bro.
higher version of yourself
Sure.
that's available.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Yeah.
Self-destruct button.
Yeah. That's
Be
good.
careful who you give that
That's
to.
good. Yeah. I was listening to some billionaire guy, and they asked him what's the most important decision you can make. You know? And he was like, who you marry.
Straight up.
Like who you marry is probably gonna be the single most important. You know, in our case, it's giving our lives to the Lord first.
Yeah.
And then secondly, who you marry.
Absolutely. So there's guys who are married and they have mental health issues.
Sure.
They're married, they've got financial issues. They're married, they've got health issues. So let's talk about that. Your mental health and who you marry. You need a woman who pray for you that your mental fortitude is like a prime condition.
Sure.
They will see when the world has attacked you and your mental health is shaken.
Sure.
And they'll put you on their bosom and tell you everything is okay. That's who you want in your life.
Sure.
Financially, you want somebody when they see you spending wildly because you have something, an insufficiency in your background where you want to now ball out of control at the cost of the family. She reins you in. Or you want also a woman who, when they have that in them, where they just want bags and shoes and whatever, and push whatever's, that when God counsels them, they can bring the family into a healthy financial state. Most of the time, if a man is married to a woman who does not counsel her husband on finances, stuff goes out of control. And a man who's under pressure financially from their wife is in trouble.
Totally.
A well-meaning man.
Totally.
Well-meaning man. Whose wife is like comparing us to the Joneses, wants to live in the fanciest neighborhoods, drive the fanciest cars, kids in the fanciest schools at your cost. Guys jump out of buildings at work because of that pressure. So wives, be careful of the pressure you put on your husbands financially, right? And when you see him and you can see he's struggling, things have changed financially for him, but you guys are still living a big life. Somebody in that relationship needs to call this stuff out and say, hey, it's time for us to downsize. Otherwise, this guy's health and mental health is at risk. Right? Then lastly, the last one was
physical health.
Physical health. What do we eat at home? Right? If you guys are like us, like we cook, I cook, but sometimes I put some stuff on the plate and she's like, okay, you know? But my wife is really good. Like we're blessed. Our family eats mainly light meat diet. We went to a health retreat and we learned about just kind of what's in our food today. So that kind of helped us to think carefully about what we give our kids. If you give your children processed foods, high sugar foods from when they are children, by the time they are 16, they are obese, they are at risk for hypertension, their mental health is at risk because the insulin volatility of that child from the time they grew up is out of control.
It's crazy, man.
So the food we eat is also just like one of those ministries that you have to be careful about in your home. I'm blessed to have married a woman who cares deeply about that. And you say, I don't look 40. Maybe it's because of what we eat at home, right? But you could be married to somebody who doesn't know to think about that. So you guys eat whatever is expedient at the time. If you're both busy and you come home late, it's takeaways. But at some point, somebody's going to die of a heart attack. At some point, somebody's going to have a diabetes issue.
It's rough, man.
So, you know, for us to have these long lives where we can disciple our children and be there when they get married is about how do we increase the longevity of this marriage. The longevity of the marriage depends on the longevity of the two people in the marriage. And that's like, what are we eating? What are we feeding ourselves? How are we counseling our finances?
That's great, bro.
Sorry, that was a lot. But
no, that was good. That was good. And you know, he had asked me just a similar thing. So I advocate for speaking about the restrictive nature of marriage. I don't shy away from that thing because it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, it's not restrictive as an end to
just for its sake. Yeah.
But it's restrictive for the sake of the benefits of marriage, for the sake of the freedoms that we experience.
Yeah,
in
with it
marriage.
comes freedoms.
Yeah, you know. So I'm like, if it wasn't like people think of absolute freedom, which is a thing that doesn't exist. You know, the universe is not made in that way. Everything is restricted to something. You know, if the Earth decides to move from its orbit, we're gonna die.
Correct.
It's restricted. It has to stay there. The sun cannot move closer to us. We're gonna burn to death.
Out of kilter, out of balance.
Everything is restricted, and that's how we experience harmony and freedom and peace in the world. You know, within all the brokenness and the chaos that we have, you know, the ocean has to stay where it is. The shore has to be where it is. When the ocean crosses that, that's a tsunami. That's disaster. It's danger. And so it's restricted in that sense, you know, and so it has to stay there for everything to function the way it functions. And so I experience the benefits of marriage with that understanding and not shying away from that. When a guy says to me, I don't want to get married because it's restrictive. Yeah. I'm like, show me anything else in your life that has absolute freedom the way you thinking of it, you know. You're free
Even
to drive
driving on the road is
exactly.
restrictions.
You're free to drive your car within the rules.
Correct.
Right? You're free to live in this country, but SARS wants its money.
Yeah.
You're free to go to work and find work anywhere.
Sure.
But you need to clock in at a certain time, knock off at a certain time, right?
Yeah.
So you're free to do stuff, but within restrictions. And I think marriage is good in that sense. And then it amplifies our freedoms because of its restrictive nature. And so for me, I think similar things that you mentioned. I would be homeless if I wasn't married.
Yeah.
Like totally homeless. I'm the dude who gets paid end of the month and I'm like, hey, Tshepo, let's keep on.
Let's go.
Let's go out. I haven't been paid. I'll pay.
Yeah.
Let's also fetch Nick. Let's fetch Grace.
Yeah.
No, my chance nga patali. Nzo patala next week.
Sure.
I'm paying. Right? Varsity, I was the dude who's driving everybody back home after our binge. And my car is always on orange. Yeah. My reserve lights was always on. Yeah. Right? We students, nobody has money.
Yeah, for sure.
But we all have money to go buy alcohol.
Sure.
We drink the thing and then I'm like, that's fine. I'll drive you to Soweto.
Sure.
And I'm driving you where? Arodiport. I'll go. I still have to drive to Tembisa.
Yo.
I'm driving with whatever little faith I have. I'm like, if we sleep on the highway, that's what's happening, right?
Yeah.
I'm that dude, right? My mom was very financially savvy. She kind of ran finances. And I found out like later when I was in varsity, had a chat with my dad. In fact, that was the first time he told me he regretted leaving, right? Because he was like, man, like I had a good thing.
I had a thing.
Yeah. Your mom was just, such a
I had a CFO. Yeah. And now I'm
a proper.
I don't even know.
Sure. So I kind of took his like personality when it comes to money. It's just like, man, my dad is a ghetto hero.
Yeah.
He pays other kids' school fees. Just, I remember I got in an Uber some other time and was chatting to the driver and he was telling me where he's going for Christmas. Eventually we figured out we're from the same hood.
Yeah.
And then turns out he's named after my dad, right? That's how much of a ghetto hero my dad is. Because he's just like splurges, saves everybody, right? That's me. I'd be totally homeless, man. And I'm not doing it just because I want people to, somehow give me glory.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, I don't wanna restrict anybody. If we have to go out, don't let money be an issue if I have money.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Where am I gonna sleep if I don't pay rent?
Zobon.
Hey. Just as long as we could, right?
Yeah.
I'd be homeless, bro.
But that's...
Hey, Beans and Bonds, the 6th edition. Man, I'm tired of asking you if you can believe it, because if you don't believe by now, forget about it. We are not stopping. We're back at it again, the 26th of July, right here at Christchurch Midrand. Doors open at 9:30 to sharply start at 10, and we finish at 1 p.m. Y'all have told us how incredible it's been to be in the room to champion husbands who want to become better. And so we're asking you to pull through again, because we want to see this country change through one husband at a time at one Beans and Bonds every single month. month, right? So make sure that you are booking your spot. I'm going to be in the room. Tshware Lekabe is going to be in the room. And Modise Sekgotse is also going to be in the room. Whether you are old, you are young, you are single, you are married, you are divorced, make sure that you are pulling through and you are booking your seat right now. How much is it going to cost you? Just $150. So make sure that you're hitting the link or you are scanning the QR code that appears on the screen right now so that you secure your spot. What are we talking about? Man, we're going to be talking about when good things become unhealthy escapes. You might not be cheating, you might not be fighting, you might not be shouting at your wife, but you started disappearing into your phone, into late night emails, or you started doom scrolling because you've lost a sense of control over your marriage. And so as men, we sometimes find it hard to sit in the discomfort. And so what do? We press into our habits, we press into our hobbies, and we press into hiding. And so we want to make sure that we are coming through together as men to, one, help each other understand why we escape. Number two, how do we actually deal with avoidance and fight for connection? And number three, how do we make sure that we have healthy ways to decompress and not press into distancing ourselves from our wives? Pull through. It's going to be an incredible time together when good things become unhealthy escapes. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's a friend. Make sure that you are booking a seat for them to pull through this July the 26th, Christchurch Midrand, Hoppers 9 to start at 10 to finish at 1 p.m. Beans and Bonds. All right, peace. See you there.
Where am I going to sleep if I don't pay rent? Angmanda, but you.
Zobona.
Zobona, hey. Just as long as we could, right?
Yeah.
I'd be homeless, bro.
But that for me is, let's talk stewardship.
Yeah.
Because if you think about what you're doing, most of it, there's nothing wrong.
Sure.
But stewardship would have said, think through all of that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So God has called us to be stewards of the stuff he's given us.
Yes.
Right? So if he gives you a blessed financial environment, he wants you to be a vessel. If you splurge or use that stuff carelessly, you're unable, you don't have the freedom to give.
Sure.
You're not able to be a blessing in every occasion.
Yes.
A blessing in every occasion means that you're available to bless
Yes.
in every occasion.
Prepped for it. Yes.
It's not that you're balling out of control. No. But what that means is that you've known when to give, how to give, and responded not out of your own ego.
Yes.
To be like, I want to be seen as this guy.
Yes.
Rather than to say, let me serve.
Yeah. Hundreds.
Wabon?
Hundreds. Or even taking measures into your own hands. Prayerfully stewarding all the resources God has given you. You are aligning with him as he's blessing people through you.
Yeah.
You know, so I think in our case, again, you know, see this good thing my dad used to do. So we driving to school and he'd just stop for anybody who's hiking, you know. Really? And I'd think, man, people are gonna kill us. And he's like,
and
if this is the last thing we do and we die giving this person a lift,
it's cool.
That's cool, right?
Wow.
Right. And so I see that from him.
Yeah.
But then to respond to you, had we just thought, man, what's the best way God wants us to steward this? You know, then we're not just out running our own agendas, but we partnering with God in his agenda and where he wants his resources to go. We just managers.
Yes.
But we became shrewd managers. Yeah. Right?
We
started saying, listen, I'll take off some debt for you. I'll do this because we want to be helpful.
Yeah.
We don't want to be seen as people who, again, suck all the glory, but we just want to, you know, be decent guys.
But you also don't want to stand in front of God doing something for someone. Because quickly, you know, we talked about mentorship and people who've done stuff for us.
Yep.
We mustn't take the glory.
Yes.
In so much that people feel like your dad paid school fees.
Yes.
He must remember. Yes. That child hopefully remembers that God used your dad so that his school fees
could be paid.
Yeah, he sent an angel.
Yes.
But who was behind your dad doing that stuff?
Sure.
Rather than idolizing men.
Yes.
And our society today is very, very prone to men who want to be idolized, men and women who want to be idolized, at the expense of God's glory. That's what I'm really getting at.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I think, man, I've enjoyed a bunch of freedoms. You know, being married. The best way to explain this, I don't know if you've seen David Beckham's documentary.
I haven't seen it.
And one of the best things I've seen in a minute. And probably I'm biased because, it spoke to me at a very, very deep, subjective, personal, intimate level.
Got you.
But Beckham's story gave me language to explain the kind of freedom that marriage has given me.
Yeah.
So you kind of see him at the beginning, his star rises, and then he meets Victoria.
Yeah.
And then he just wants to be with Victoria the whole time.
Yeah.
And from the journalist's perspective or the club's perspective, it's like, man, this guy is just smitten with this chick. This chick is going to distract him, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But you soon realize that Victoria is what gives him the energy to be Beckham on the field.
Right.
Victoria is not there. We're not getting David Beckham on the field at all, right?
Yes.
And then you kind of see it later on in their lives. There's this one scene that perfectly describes my life, and just a recent conversation that has kind of given me space to breathe and the freedoms that I'm experiencing in marriage. So anyway, it's probably like episode 3 or 4, I'm not sure.
Okay.
But the previous episode ends and it cuts into the next episode. But visually what they've done is they took it's the visual of his closet.
Yeah.
And then they pan as they cut into the next episode, and then you kind of see his closet open as the new episode starts.
Okay.
And all his clothes for the week are packed, right?
Yeah.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, all his outfits, right?
Right.
That's me, right? But I only get the freedom to do that because of my base.
Yes.
Right? If I don't have my clothes packed like that, if I don't have my shoes packed like that, that's when you know that there's something wrong here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think I'm spiraling.
Yeah. Scatterbrained.
Yeah, this hot
The
issues.
heart is not right.
Yeah, I'm not settled.
Sure.
Right? And marriage has given me that, I grew up like that.
Yeah.
First 15 years of my life with my dad gave me that structure.
Sure.
Come back from school and I know, get home, put my bag in my room, take off my uniform, go put it in the laundry, polish my shoes, go pick up the papers around the yard, go clean the toilet, then sit down, either do your piano, do drawing. I'm ordered, right?
Man.
That's me. My dad leaves.
I'm getting goosebumps because that's what I want for my children. Yeah.
He leaves. I spiral. I'm basically in the wilderness trying to find my base. I find my base when I get married.
Right.
Because that's home.
Yeah.
That's a place I can be launched from, I paint a picture to make a point there that when I had confidence in my first 15 years, again, wasn't an arrogance, but I'd walk into a room, greet the elders in the room because my dad said I must.
Yeah.
He said I must greet. It's the right thing to do. It's polite. Look at somebody in the eyes, shake their hand.
Yeah.
But as a kid, I'm like, man, this is like invasive, whatever, But I'd walk into any room knowing, man, I have my dad behind me.
Sure.
Right? And now he's not there. So now I'm like walking into rooms wanting to feel worthy.
Yes.
So I'm now greeting to try and get some sense of value, you know? But as soon as I got married, man, it just felt like that base is back.
It's
I
back.
have the giants behind me,
Amazing.
My daughter's born. I'm like, man, I have people that are launching me.
Yeah.
So then my wife knows if the clothes are not packed, if the kitchen is not immaculately cleaned, there's something wrong with him.
You're a neat freak.
I'm OCD,
tidy,
bro. I'm OCD, bro.
Amazing.
But for a good chunk of our marriage, I struggled with it.
Okay.
Because I thought,
is she the same way, by the way, in terms of?
No, she's a scatterbrain.
Yeah. You see, God. You need him. You need him to live with her.
Definitely. And he's, because of just that dynamic, first year of marriage, I come in and I'm like, man, I'm gonna crush her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill her if I pull out my OCD dude, right? But I'm not realizing if I suppress this dude, I'm killing myself.
Yes.
Because he allows me to breathe.
Yes.
So I kill him for the sake of loving my wife.
For sure.
Right? But that's destroying me. It's destroying her because then the burden to look after the house is on her.
Is on her.
But man,
she's not doing it the way you want.
Yeah. Right? So but what that helped, and to God's genius and his providence and grace over our lives, he then grows sensibility in me.
Yeah.
To okay, she's a bit scatterbrained. If we're gonna last till Jesus comes back.
Yeah.
Man, I need to love her like this.
Yeah.
And I need to find her not closing the cupboard,
Yes.
leaving the dishcloth not hung
Yeah.
correctly.
Yes.
I need to find those opportunities as service moments.
Yeah.
I need to serve her. I need to love her.
Yeah.
You know, I can love, serve, or I could go the opposite way
Sure.
and just be
And just criticize every moment.
yeah.
Use that as an
And just
opportunity
follow.
to
Exactly. You know,
Yeah.
pick this up. Now she has a
Now
parent
you're a
and not a
tyrant
husband.
in the house.
Exactly. Right. And so I didn't know how to balance that dude.
Yeah.
And so I just kept him in a cage.
Sure.
Killed us.
Sure.
Killed both of us. Until one day I was like, girl, you know how you found me.
Yeah.
so, but again, to the point that we're making now, I could only find that safety in marriage.
Yeah.
I could only say, this is who I truly am.
Yes.
And together we need to find room for this guy.
Yes.
In fact, we should use this guy because he's going to benefit us.
He's gonna help us.
He's going to help us.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the thing, man. If I'm just with a girlfriend, yeah, it's hard to explain.
No.
What are we building? You know, and you too much with your OCD stuff.
Yeah.
But now my wife is like, man, that guy's a bit scary, but I like him.
Yeah.
I like him because he keeps us.
He
in
brings
order.
something to this thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just find that freedom, man, in marriage, you know. Thinking of freedoms again.
Yeah.
I don't want to change where we were, but your wife runs her own business. You have a business as well, and you also have work. How have you guys managed to, particularly for you as a husband, find ways to support her?
Yeah.
You know, because I mean, we live in Joburg, and you know, standard of living is but it's not as high as Cape Town. In fact, Cape Town is nuts. If you live in Cape Town
is overseas.
Yes, you'll be a king
Cape
here.
Town is overseas. Sure. Cape Town is overseas.
Yeah, but we still have expenses, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people would not want to entertain passions outside of the other passions they have that are, you know, corporate 9-to-5 related. But you guys are like, man, we're gonna have, you know, different trajectory here. We're gonna take a different path.
Yeah.
How did you find ways to support her?
Yeah.
How do you still find ways to support her? How do you guys speak of dreams together? You know, a lot of wives feel stifled.
Yeah.
By husbands, a lot of husbands feel like they can't speak about the dreams they have because they need to protect and provide. And so now I need to go be a dude who's interested in art, you know, and now have these exhibitions. What's going on? Yeah. You're taking time and money from us. Like, come on, just you have a job.
Yourself.
Yeah. So how have you guys walked that together?
It's such a good question. So, because we were friends for a long time, we knew what each other's aspirations were.
Sure.
So, my friend has just started a business.
Sure.
So why would I stand in the way of that? Like, I don't see her as a wife who started a business.
Sure.
And that's going to take away from her being a wife.
Sure.
That's like the last of my concerns. And you know, the way I think about Dumi, my wife, is that she's shown me enough evidence that I don't have to worry about her dropping the ball on our family.
Sure.
That's important. When generally those frictions come, is because you've given your partner evidence that when you do this, this is going to suffer.
Sure.
So you need to be careful
of
the evidence you're putting out.
Husbands need to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
More than wife.
Yeah. Like, it's like you haven't been financially studious. Now you want to go start your own business, your stable job. You are compromising.
Sure.
And now we need to hope everything's going to be okay. But I haven't seen like the strictness with your finances, the diligence with your finances that says when you make a windfall, you show me that you stretch that out for our family.
Yeah.
So what we're going to see is, yes, this business might pop, but it's going to be volatile. Yeah. Let me be ready for that.
Sure.
And so that's why people find in their relationships struggles to come out about their aspirations, is because there's just no safety there.
Yeah.
So for us, it started, I mean, she's been in business now maybe 10 years.
Okay.
And
sure.
Yeah, from the get-go, I just knew my friend has been blessed with a talent that I must just support.
Did she have a job before?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's a trained accountant.
Yeah,
she's a CA. She worked in corporate finance.
Okay.
And then started a business in corporate finance.
Sure. Yeah.
In advisory. So it was along her training and her knitting. But she's got a brain like you cannot believe.
Sure.
So it would be, again, like out of my own insecurity to stand in the way of that. It wouldn't be what God is planning.
Sure.
So, and then secondly, my biggest excitement about my wife being in business is that our sons are going to have an example of mom who is doing her thing,
Sure.
not stifled by anything.
Sure.
Their definition of a woman will be balanced.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm excited to support this and just be whatever I can be for her and what she needs me to be to support the longevity of a business, is because what it does for our society is that girls can see my wife and they know that it is possible to show up like that professionally.
Yeah.
My sons and other boys can see a woman who holds it down at home, holds it down at church, holds it down with her friendships, holds it down in the boardroom.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Still, bro.
Yeah.
Walk us through the day she said, I'm quitting. And I'm starting this thing.
Yeah. So typically those quitting moments come from friendship conversations where she's being real with me about what's happening at work and those types of things. And the protective husband is like, Joe, you don't need to do this. Like, you don't need to, you know? But also having heard the ideas of what the outside of this could be.
Sure.
And like, you just can't wait until she quits because there's some potential on the other side that she actually needs to unlock.
Sure.
So it was that moment when she told me. It was not a surprise, but also an excitement for the unlock.
Yeah. That sounds, I think, or emphasizes the importance of constantly talking. So being in constant communication. I always say that marriage exists in conversation.
Yeah.
You know, the less you talk, the less you're the less healthy or alive your marriage is going to be. The more you talk, I think the more it will be healthy and alive.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you know, it comes as a surprise when one spouse is like,
it's because their spouse is not their friend. So they're busy, maybe told their best friend, their homie, about what's happening at work. The homie knows
the homie runs the business plan.
Yeah. And also knows the business plan.
Yeah.
The homie knows that you've got a private fund stash to start this business. Your wife doesn't.
Yeah.
Crazy, and that's how, you know, fundamentally broken some of these things are.
Yeah. From, I mean, the first time we met, you did sound like a dude who's, you did speak about stewardship. And so guys who speak about stewardship, I'm like, one, you might have read a bunch of books. It's a nice concept.
Yeah.
Or you actually are a good steward, right?
Yeah.
I never find dudes who you know, speak about stewardship and are moderately, you know, stewarding their resources.
Yeah.
I find that it's all this extreme. It's like, man, like all these amazing books talk about this thing called stewardship. We should do it one day.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And then there's dudes who are like, I'm about it. It sounds like you're about it. And, you know, doing my own PI work, I'm like, this dude travels a lot.
Oh, yeah, it was one of the early contracts between my wife and I to say, okay, we are both professionals.
Yeah.
How are we going to steward this resource until children come?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things that we both agreed on that like was important to us.
Sure.
Yeah.
How has that benefited you guys? You know, a lot of people speak about traveling, but I'm like, again, if you're stewarding everything, and you're kind of intentional about most of your, you know, areas in your life, that's clearly not just, you know, for the gram.
Yeah.
There's intention behind that, you know. What is that about? How has it worked in your marriage? How has it benefited you guys? Yeah.
Sure. So a lot of the travel we've done has been with some friends, traveling for running. We used to travel to run marathons around the world. So that helped with the travel because there was the race we were running. But we decided that we're just going to choose races in other places and travel for that. So there was some purpose in travel. It wasn't because we were just indulging ourselves. But we did make sure that after the race, we have some fun, we explore, etc. But travel has always been an ambition and aspiration for us. And staying fit and traveling was just a really nice combination. And traveling with someone you love is useful to learn the person. Waiting in airports, missing a flight, all of that mess almost tells you a lot about each other.
Yeah.
Long flights next to each other.
Sure.
So when you're friends, it's fun. When you're not friends, it's miserable.
Yeah.
And if you're not friends, it tells you that you're not friends
Sure,
quickly, and you need
sure.
to either get friends
Yeah.
or you'll never travel with this person again.
Yeah.
So that's what it unlocked for us.
That's good.
But it's been a great way for us to also, when we've worked hard, reward ourselves.
Yeah.
So that's been
Sure.
just kind of like there's a lot happening, and you sacrifice, just kind of steward your finance in a particular way. And that reward of having made the right decisions all along for us has been, okay, reward yourself with travel.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
No, that's great. I that's one thing I'm stealing from your life. My wife wants us to travel.
Yeah.
And we traveled for work.
Yeah.
We were, professional musicians for 10 years.
Yes.
So we travel because we were booked. But you never actually get to enjoy a place because you're there for work and you see one or two things and then you have to go to the next city, etc. And then we were like, man, we need to actually just go to places, just for the sake of enjoying the space and being there. I use that as well as a test of whether I'm friends with somebody. Mine is the 5-6 hours to Durban.
Yeah,
it's long enough to determine if we're homies.
Yeah.
It's short enough that if this sucks, it's just 5-6 hours.
Yeah,
right?
for
so,
sure.
Yeah, so I'm like,
that's a good one.
I'm not risking a flight to New York or that's too long, right? Yeah, so I'm like, can I go to Durban with this person? If the answer is yes, I'm like, nah, we homies, right?
Yeah.
Because man, I know that drive on N3
can be lonely.
Yeah, and the spots where you just like, man, I'm too far to go back home.
Yes.
But we just need to press, man. Like, I can't turn around. And in those moments, I appreciate the person who's sitting next to me. Right? Yeah. So I'm like, man, if I don't like you, that's gonna be hard.
What do you guys do during those long drives? Do you talk a lot? Do you listen to stuff?
So
does she just like zone out into her own moment and you do your own? What is your
again, because of my OCD?
Yeah.
I don't let anyone drive.
Okay.
So if somebody's gonna kill us, it's me.
Yeah.
I don't let anybody drive.
Yeah.
I remember we did a drive to Cape Town. It's like 15, 17 hours.
Yeah.
And my wife was like, maybe this time he'll. And I was like, forget it. If somebody's going to kill us, it's me. No one drives.
Yeah.
So then what she does to love on me, she's like, whatever you want to listen to, we'll listen to.
We'll listen to that.
So then I'm like, I'm probably trying to catch up on a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch up on an audiobook.
Got you.
And then at some point in the travel, we'll have a playlist.
Yeah.
And it's like old school, like 40s music or like some weird stuff we listened to growing up on Jacaranda FM.
Right.
Like, yeah. So then we'll like just have sing-alongs. So it would be whatever I want to listen to.
Yeah.
Because she's like, man, you need to stay awake.
Sure.
So if you focused, we could. And then I'd say, okay, let's just love on you and listen to whatever else you want to listen to. Yeah.
I've got an analogy that a friend told me. And it's just about marriage to say, think about marriage as like a long drive. Now, this analogy is going to probably be difficult for you because you drive. But he was saying on long drives, let's say the Cape Town one, you're not always the one driving.
Sure.
As a head of the family,
sure.
If you really want to benefit from having someone next to you with a license who can drive, who's really good at what they can do, is to let them drive and you rest.
Sure.
So the ability to do the long trips, the long life, where sometimes mom is driving, sometimes dad is driving, is what we are missing in this thing. Sometimes marriages end because dad is just tired of driving.
Driving, man. Yeah.
And he just doesn't have the humility to say, I am tired. Please take the wheels. Right?
Sure.
He feels like that is shameful. Like I'm letting my family down.
Sure.
Nah?
Sure.
And we are so conditioned to lead with this bravado of I'll me first and I'll always do these things. But the macho-ness doesn't help when you're just tired. And you have somebody who's fresh. And so for me, that's a powerful analogy on how to step by step just live life. So in our marriage, sometimes she drives, sometimes I drive.
That's good, bro.
There's no dominance in There's no dominance in masculinity. There's no dominance in I'm the head. And so I'm always making all the decisions. Even just decision making.
Yeah.
There's a balance in my family. Because, like I said, God has given me someone with a license. Ne? And a license is a metaphor for a brain, talent,
Skills.
creativity, skills.
Sure.
Why would I dwarf those things?
Yeah.
God said it's not good for man to be alone.
Yes.
And brought him a helper.
A helper, yeah.
But we take these helpers, we shelve them, and we dwarf all of their talents.
Yeah.
And we think,
you blame them when you divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
But you're like, man, you shelved her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she could have helped you keep this thing alive.
Correct. So I don't know. Hopefully that serves you in kind of way.
I mean, I'm still never going to let my wife drive.
This guy, I was hoping this guy's going to say, yeah, you know what? Plus we got this planned drive. I might let her drive a little bit.
And listen, she enjoys me driving. She's
going to repeat this part of the podcast to you. She'll be like, what that dude say?
She hates driving. So she's like, man, listen, I'll drive if I have to.
Yeah.
But it's also conditioning. You know,
Correct.
I've just conditioned her. Like we hitting 11 years now.
Oh,
and
beautiful.
even before then,
yeah,
I was the only person her mom trusted with driving her.
Oh, driving her.
Yeah. So when she had gigs,
Yeah.
man, her mom would be like, okay, like none of your band members are driving. Like just call Blaque. Blaque is gonna drive. And she also, told her mom, I feel safe when he drives. And so even before we got married, as friends, I was driving her around. Yeah. And then we got married. I'm like, hey girl, by the way, I have this thing. Yeah. I wasn't just driving you because
like actually
I don't let nobody drive.
I don't let anybody.
Yeah. The only other person I'd let drive is my dad.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. But I haven't seen him drive in a while, so maybe I won't trust him as well now. So but in closing, bro, this has been refreshing. I dig your demeanor, man.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I'm honored by that.
Yeah. I'm an introvert, contrary to popular belief. People think
Me too.
Yeah. No, I could believe that about you.
I'm like one of those extroverts that really enjoyed COVID.
Yeah.
So it's like I was telling my wife, like I was surprised by how much I loved being cocooned and separated from the usual things that give me energy, which is like being out there engaging with people.
Sure.
So that opened up something to me, like to say, oh, okay, actually, there's a little bit of introversion in my extroverted posture.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway,
that's cool, man. Yeah, we always reminisce about COVID. We're like, just two things, God. Can people not die or lose their jobs?
Yeah.
But can we, Uncle Cyril just wake up and say...
And be like, guys, just stay home.
Yeah, guys, I'm looking down the country. Yeah, sure, Cyril, please. Right? We thrived, man.
Us too.
Us too. It was the best. It was the best for us, obviously outside. My mom had COVID, so I thought she was gonna clock. Yeah. But she's such a warrior, man. So but we would want that. So I was just saying, like, just your demeanor.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's if you could bottle it, I'd take it and keep it here. In my moments of being frantic, I'd be like, yeah, man, let's open this, let it shower me.
Yeah.
Right? So carry that, man.
No, thank you.
Before we started recording, you were speaking about just the importance of accountability and being in a brotherhood. I'm like, man, you would probably, I assume you're probably an anchor in those relationships, just because you seem very stable and not in what you say, but you feel it in your presence. So
look, Bob, just in that moment, humility is important in this time. I've done some work recently on deepening and spending more time in the version of myself that feels like what God has called me for.
Sure.
Compared to the version of myself that I'm ashamed of. And I've lived there for a long time.
Sure.
Right. So these 40 years have not been perfect. Sure. And I acknowledge that, in fact, the greatest thing in this moment is the people who know me from back then probably look at this guy as like, who's this? Yeah, right?
Sure.
I remember him being like, and I just, What I thought about that contrast in my life was, I'm so grateful for that time, because it's helped me when it's mattered most in my life at this age where I'm moving from like amateur into adulthood, from childhood into adulthood. I haven't made so many detrimental mistakes that my adulthood is taxed severely, either my health or how I look or my finances
Sure.
or my relationships. I haven't done so much damage that it is irreparable.
That's good.
So my call for young men is, there might be a time where you need to act foolish.
Yeah.
But may God help you that the consequences of that foolishness is not long term,
Yeah.
that your family suffers for it, your children suffer for it, and your generation just has that as an indelible imprint on them.
Yeah.
Right. So what I care about today
Sure.
is what will I leave as an indelible impression on my culture, the young men that I impress upon, live with in my household, and the ones that will follow.
Yep.
About what it looks like when you surrender to God's calling for your life and just really submit yourself into being of service.
Yeah.
Because what's missing right now is overindulgence of men in money, sex, all of these things that are just taxes to the future of our society. And so women are in pain, children are fatherless because men just won't rise up to their responsibility.
Come on, man.
And so they just expedient is like, let me indulge myself. I have no accountability to anybody.
Sure.
But who suffers is our generation. And so when they talk about black men, they talk about black men in a very cheap way. Why? Because of any man who's had this opportunity, but just had nobody to counsel them to say, all right, enough tax paid in that version of yourself. Now let's do this. So that's where I'm at in my head right now.
Other people can pay school fees for you where you don't have to pay it. So you
and I think this platform is trying to do that, right? Just to say, let's not sit here in front of a mic and act like we're perfect. It's far from that.
From it, man.
But to talk about what's helped us to stay being really constructive. You don't have to be perfect, but just be constructive.
Sure.
Can we be a guy we can work with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just call you? Something will happen.
Can we count on you for something, B?
Yeah. Don't go buy bread and spend 30 years.
Yeah, it's just not come back.
Not coming back. Yeah.
Right, come on.
Yeah. How does all of that, in closing, speak to Browneyed Boy? And you live with two Browneyed Boys.
Yeah, I live with two Browneyed Boys.
Yeah.
Those guys. I haven't spoken enough about them.
Yeah. So individually, because, I only have one kid.
Okay.
But I'm very aware and it's limited. So my awareness is because I don't have two kids.
Yeah.
But the awareness I have is, when one kid comes, how do you maintain, your relationship with the first kid? Treat them like individuals, pour into them in ways that are beneficial for them.
Yeah.
And don't try and like mash them into this one thing.
Yeah.
So how has, your work with the art space, why did you even name
Browneyed Boy?
Yeah. And how do you speak to both your boys?
I'll be brief about Browneyed Boy, but just Browneyed Boy is an art platform. You'll see our logo has got glasses on it, and it's a metaphor to say, come see the art world through our lens, because the art world is so daunting for many people. I enjoy it, and I thought, let me put myself as a lens for people to expose you to art, experience some art. I love artists because they are documenters of our culture, our society. They code the culture, the language, the temperature of how society was at a time. So they're of service to culture. And so I find them as like any other professional who God has given a talent that needs to be rewarded. So why I buy art is because I think that's something worth rewarding. How I treat them is like professionals, and how I expect them to show up is like professionals. So Browneyed Boy is in the space of professionalizing art, which people may seem and experience as chaotic, erratic, loose, just like this creative space that's nebulous. And I think if it's got structure, it's got power to communicate really what this almost like talent, because there's like stuff that artists see that we don't see. Right? And if you just give them that pure creative space, when they don't have to worry about bills, when they don't have to worry about what they eat, we can tap into just something beautiful.
Yeah, hundreds, bro.
That's not accessed when you have a stressed artist
Yes.
who's about to be kicked out of the.
say hungry artists make bad art, man.
Yeah. So that's what we do.
Sure.
We use the professional training we've got to help support artists, and and for my boys, Lesedi and Urufile, for them to know that that's a career path that's possible. That's not going to be treated like what parents who worry about the future of their children would treat it.
Sure.
Like, you want to be an artist, just wait.
Yeah.
So
Go get a real job first.
Yeah, exactly. Do a real job first. So I take them to exhibitions.
Yeah.
They know art. They know Basquiat. They know
Yeah.
Nelson. You know what I mean? They know the local artists.
Whatever
we have at home, they enjoy. So I wanted them to benefit from growing up with art in their lives.
Yeah. What dreams do you have for both of them individually?
For me to not stand in the way of what God has called them to do, and for them to know that they are men. They're two boys. I want them to know they are men.
Sure.
Nothing else.
Come on.
Not less, not more. And they don't have to dial it up too much. They don't have to dial it down. They're okay as men. And there's space for them as boys.
Sure.
And there'll be space in the world for them as men.
Yeah. Bro, thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
This is how everybody should spend their Saturday mornings.
Hey, man. Yeah, that was powerful.
So please thank. I should probably call her by her full name,
Boitumelo.
So please thank her for us.
Yeah,
your story only exists because she's your wife.
She's been a great influence in my life, and I can't.
Yeah.
You know, when I talk about my story, it's impossible to talk about who I've become without her influence.
Yeah.
And what I wish for guys who marry is to find a woman who sees a giant in you, and does not stop reminding you that, man, you amount to something greater. And how I show up into the world is not because my dad told me I was a giant, but it's because I've got a wife who reminds me.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Shout outs to her.
Yeah.
Shout outs to her. Thank her for us.
Thank you, V.
And we appreciate you, bro, and trusting us with your story.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, sharing your heart with us.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of dudes who benefit from this, and wives, who watch this. So thank you, man. And hopefully this is not the last time that you come.
I hope so. I hope we have another conversation. I want to spend more time with you talking about brothers, because I think there is, husbands, but I think there's a step before where we need to talk to brothers and say, what do you do in this very confusing time? I spoke about the stuff that can tax you. Is like, how do you fully explore your youth, but not at the expense of your future? I think we should have that conversation. I think it could be useful.
Definitely.
But what I want to say to you is, may God use you, expand your territory. May he be of service, and may he bless your family, for you sacrificing time with your family to do this in service of other men and women, just for our society to be better.
Sure.
May his wind be behind you, B.
Thanks, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man.
Sure.
Guys, thank you for tuning in. We definitely got a lot from this conversation. I hope that you are gonna pause, take notes. Tshepo had brought his notepad. I should start bringing a notepad, man.
Scribe.
So hopefully your notepad will be filled, man, by the end of this episode. If you've gotten to the end of it now, there's definitely a lot of things that you can double tap on, think about, have conversation with your spouse, with your brothers, and anybody else that you think will benefit from this. So please don't forget to subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell so that you're updated on every single episode we drop every Wednesday at 11:30. From me and the team here at That Husband Podcast, we'll see you next week, Wednesday, all right? Peace.